Greetings, everyone. This is going to be different. This is going to be the first beginning of a workshop. It's going to be hardcore, people. I suggest, are you ready for a change? Are you ready for the truth? If not, I don't even think you should waste your time being here. If you're ready to hear things that'll blow you away completely, but it's the truth, I promise you that. Please listen. I don't know how many days this is going to be. I don't know how many hours I'm going to do it today, even. But I promise you, if you stick around and work through it with me, you're going to get incredible stuff out of this and be able to start moving yourself into a more spiritual or an aware state of being and recognizing yourself as soul. All right, this is going to go against just about everything you know, everything you were told, everybody you believe, accept, and everything that was in writing, every which way you want to look at it. This is for people that are ready to take the next step spiritually to become more spiritually aware. And most people don't even know what that means. All right, I'm going to go into what it doesn't mean as well. All right, because most people assume that it's this or that by what they think and feel, by what other people say to them. Okay, please, people, no jokes. I'm going to try to keep this. Let me just put this. All right, okay. I'm just going to invite people into the studio. If they want to come on, they could come on. But like I said, I'm not going to be answering too many questions until the end. All right. Now, ask yourself, are you ready? Are you ready to hear things that will change what you think or feel if you accept it, make you think about what you think you know, and help you take a giant step into the world of truth, spirit, God, and everything pertaining to that level of awareness, meaning awareness. I'm going to do this in parts so that we can do a little each time so that you don't get super overloaded. But I'm going to feed you so much stuff today. Hopefully, uh, you'll listen, whether you accept it or not. You might take time to think about it, but that's your choice. But I do promise you, you will hear things you will not hear anywhere else. All right? I'm going to put them in here and there. They're not going to just be all one thing. I'm going to try to explain a lot of things before I get into those. All right? Whether you do this or not, that's your choice. But I'm going to give you little techniques to do, which you need to do. They're simple. They take you a few minutes, half hour max. But you need to do it because it's only for your own benefit. By doing them, it's only going to help you see where you are. Mentally, psychically, physically, where you stand with yourself. And this isn't a test. It's not about that. It's not about me trying to make you believe things. You're going to have to work everything I give you out for yourself. Prove things I'm telling you for yourself. But I promise you this, you will find these things out if you work hard enough to search them out and find it. Basically, everything written is a lie. Everything you hear is a lie. Everything you believe in is a lie. I mean, if you take The Matrix, which was a great movie, is probably the closest to the truth than anything you ever heard, read, or saw. Meaning, it's not constructed the way you perceive it to be or the way they want to make you believe. And the main thing is, why are you here? All right. Then the second thing, what happens when you die? What happens after that? All right. All these things are critically important. Whether you reincarnated, if you believe in that word or not, I'm telling you, it exists. It's real. Whether you want to believe in that or not, that's your choice. There's multiple people that have proven it to themselves, and they're starting to prove it to other people by certain people's experiences and what they can say and talk about that they weren't even there. All right. So I will get into that as well for myself, because I did become aware of all my past lives all the way back to Atlantis. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in between all that. But there's things that you have to know that are critical to you moving forward. Now, I want to try to do this in steps. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, which I usually do. All right. I'm going to give you everything you need to become spiritual for what it really means. I call it aware of soul. what you truly are. It does not mean you will actually want to stay here for a long period of time. Once you experience the truth, whether you have a family or not, it has nothing to do with that. This world has very little to do with the truth about God or any of the worlds God created. You were brought here to understand yourself, not the world. The world meaning planet Earth, which I call hell, Hell. It's not a place under the ground. It's not a place where you go when you die because you're bad. This is it, because you come back here. And if you don't come back here, you stay a ghost between the next realm, which is the astral plane, and this realm. So there's a lot of totally misconstrued ideas and truths about what people say it is and think it is and want it to be. I'm telling you what it really is. I'm telling you by direct experience. My whole life, I was on a spiritual quest, and I was on a self journey by myself. Nobody gave me the information. I didn't read all the information that I'm going to be giving you. It's through direct experience. I don't believe much of any word that I hear written. Remember, man created words, which we will get into. From Moses to everybody other up to now, what the UFO people say, what the words they use, all have nothing to do with why you are here. I mean, the rich people want to stay here forever. They're trying to do that. So you can follow what you want, but let me explain the in-betweens, all that, why people want that, and what keeps people here. All right. Again, this is going to be hardcore. It's not going to be some simple little game that I'm playing, because I want you to have the truth, the total truth, not the lies, not the stories, even in the UFO world. All the lies out there today, even with the meeting that they had and everything else, they're still talking about the trivial things, not the important part of it. All right, they're talking about drones rather than talking about real aliens. They're talking about Russia and ships and everybody else. No, how about alien ships? All right, that's just one thing. The money. Is there money on this planet? Does the United States have money? Who knows how much money they have? How much money can they give out? How much money do they really say they have? Is it true or not? How much gold do they really have? Nobody knows the truth to anything. So when they tell you we're out of money, who's out of money? The printing press is out of money? What's out of money? So, the whole game is about controlling the market, controlling you, and controlling everything else that you do and think and act. Because that's the problem. People don't understand that. They think they have free will. You don't have free will on planet Earth. Not now, not for a really long time. The only time we had it was in Atlantis, because we weren't destroying the planet. We weren't programmed by aliens or demons or entities or any of those words. But we are now. All right. So I hope you accept what I say. I mean, I can't make you like it or not, and I'm not going to tell stories. This is not a game. This is not fairyland, storyland, dreamland, imaginary land. This is the real thing, people. Not like anybody else you're going to hear. All right? Talking to God, people that say they're with God, they're one with God, all those baloney lies. We are not one with God. Be standing in hell if we were. Angels that are down here were thrown out of the higher realms. Lucifer is not a demon, which a lot of people say and believe. Satan's down here. Lucifer is on the astral plane. All right, so much for that. All right, now, you have a family. I'm not going to say you stop loving them or anything like that, but you're going to realize what that really means to you as soul when you die. All right, so now I want you to take notes if you can, just little notes that might remind you about something that you might want to do here, think, or find. But when I give you an exercise, you're going to need a paper and a pencil and a little bit of time to do it. But when you think about your knowledge, your wisdom, and everything you think you know, your experiences, I mean, miracles, all those words, Oh, it's a miracle from God. It's a miracle like this. Well, how many miracles do you think God allows a person, and you really believe God allows people a certain amount of miracles? And what's a miracle really for? The word karma is much more important than miracle. So as we move along, I'm going to get into all these things. So sit back, relax. Hope you get something out of this today. Let me just do this anyway. Sorry. All right. Greetings, people that are in the chat room. Sit back and enjoy yourself if you can. Again, I'm not going to be answering many questions until the end. All right. Because what happens is I'll lose where I'm going, and it's going to be really hard to get back where I'm going one step at a time. I'm going to say this, and this is to wake you up. If you agree with anyone else, you have a long way to go. If you agree with anyone other than yourself, you have a long way to go. All right. That's the starting point. Okay. And I mean that to a T. All right. I hope you don't need me to explain that. It's as simple as it sounds. People are on their own path and they don't even know where that path's going, where it came from, or why. So when they give you their meaning, their truth, it's not going to help you. You got to find your own. You got to work out your own. And you got to find the truth to get to where that is. And you're not going to find it by listening to anybody else. Well, whether you agree with me or not, that's the truth. As we move forward, I'm going to keep it there. I'm only responsible to God, and I'm going to say that many times, not to people, not to animals, not to trees, not to anything else, only to God. All right. Do not say we're here to attain, to change the world. I mean, many people believe that. All right. I'm holding on. I'm holding on for a little bit longer. Not much more, because this world is hell. And when you move into the higher realms, you're going to realize the difference. Why would you want to stay in hell if you can get out of it? If you're in a box and you're told that's where you need to stay, you're going to stay in a box. But if they take the lid off the box, let you go out and around, are you going to want to stay inside the box? I sure hope not. It's the same with spiritual growth and awareness. As you move on within it, your reality is going to change. Everything you think, feel, and every aspect of your life is going to change. All right. These UFO people, these psychics and New Age people have these programs and ideas and teachings and what they want us to do and what they want us to become. All right, including the government is not spiritual, even though they say they are. All right. Aware. They don't want you aware of the truth. You mean they could have told us about aliens 50 years ago, and they didn't. All right. Now, spiritual sides of religions, we're going to get into a little more hardcore, because that's where people are programmed greatly. A spiritual being does not stay here for a long time. All right. They don't want to, they don't need to, and they don't. Now, attachment usually to family is what makes people think they have to stay here, have to do this, but you're going to die. You could die tomorrow anyway. And what did you leave them? What did you do for them? All right, you can die 10 years from now, or you can live to 120 and be an old thing moving around, but they'll probably all be dead before that. Think about what you really want. Think about what you're creating. Think about how you live and why. Money is not going to help you ever. I mean, survive and do all the things here, yes, but it's not going to help you attain any true awareness. Doing meditation is not going to help you do anything beneficial. All right, now I'm going to say something that might sound weird. Talking to aliens is not going to help you. Talking to trees, talking to the water, talking to the sky, talking to the moon and sun, we'll get into that, but it's not going to be the help you really need. If you watch the movie The Matrix, again, It's basically how this world really is. Think about it. Watch it 2 or 3 times in a row and see. It's kind of, if you don't know what's, you probably don't understand it the first time anyway. Watch it again. All right. And then see how everything's not the way we want it to be or the way we think it has to be. All right. There's certain things in that movie which field you want to take, and they talk about that in the movie. Well, you could take the path of truth or the path of lies. You have the choice, always. That was your freedom when you came here. To find the truth and get out of here, or live in the lies and stay here. That's the only truth you have. Whether you understand it or not, it's a different story, but that is it, period. How do you find the truth? How do you know it's a lie? Well, that's a lot easier than you think it is. All right. You have to start looking at all parts of a picture. The frame, the size, the color, the width and depth, and everything else about a picture to truly understand it. Oh, I see a rabbit. Oh, rabbits are cute. What's the rabbit doing? What's around the rabbit? What's going to happen to the rabbit? Why is the rabbit there? There's multiple questions to any idea that you see, perceive, or go through. Are you understanding that? Are you looking for all those aspects of it? Look for every detail. When it comes to truth, don't accept anything without all the details being filled in. I want to get into the UFO part a little bit later. I mean, I want to get into the psychic part of it as well. All right. Now, most people look at life as having a family, being in love, having children, having everything else that comes along with a family. And that's it. What else? A good job. What changes? Now, if you came back in another life and you did the same thing over, what would change? Nothing. Bigger house, more technical equipment, less things you're going to be doing. Oh, the refrigerator serves me my food. I mean, you can have all kind of weird things happening if you watch the Jetsons way back, cartoon. Anything could be happening. But is it helping you find who you are? Not who they want you to believe you are, but who you are. And when I say they, it means the government, it means Satan, it means demons, entities, and everything else, including aliens. They do not want you to find that. All right. So now your small ideas, what are they? Just living life. And people reincarnate and reincarnate, thinking this life is important. But you had hundreds of them. All the same thing. Sure, you might have been a killer, murderer in the army, navy, whatever, or just a battling person in the woods. Who knows? A native person. There's a lot of things that you go through. But what did you learn about you? What you really are? What you're doing here? Well, I got to get an animal to eat or I'll starve to death. And that's it. Is death the danger part of it? When you get close to death, if you're not aware, and watch people, if you get a chance, watch people die, you'll see people that are much more aware than people that are not. If their body starts shaking, they have no clue. If their body's like in a like peaceful state, you see them kind of smiling and sitting back, and they know they're going to the astral plane. They know how they're going to get there. But that's only one thing. Then what happens? Very few people know much more than that, no matter what path, what religion they studied. Right. This world is very limited for spiritual growth. All right. You can believe that or not. But as you go through life, you will notice it isn't very beneficial to you. I want to tear apart every idea about religion to you as well. Please don't run away. I know many Christians will. I mean, some people don't believe in religions. I mean, many people say they work with Jesus. All right. Now, let me say this. He is not here. He is not here on planet Earth. Why would he want to be? Who would he want to work with? What person on this planet even deserves that right now? Well, I pray. Yes, so that means you should be with Jesus. What is Jesus teaching right now? People don't know what he was teaching then. So why would you want to be with him now? You still have no clue what he's teaching now. All right. Man's ignorance is their truth. They know they are bad. They want protection, salvation, and they want all those words because they know they're bad, not because they're good. If you're a good person, do you need protection? From what? Dying? No. Losing your money? Anything? No, you don't. You know this is the game you got to work out and finish it so you can get out of the game. You don't want to stay and play it forever. It really is boring if you realize what you did, what you went through, and how long you've been here. You've been here a long time, people. You as the soul have been, not this body, but your soul that's in this body that you are, has been. All right. Because of man's ignorance, they don't look any further than that. And that's the starting point. Like I said, are you willing to let go of that? And realize that there's something beyond that. Now, I'm not going to make this religious because Jesus didn't come here to create a religion. When he told his disciples to leave their families, their children and their friends, what do you think that meant? And why would he say it? Just think about it. I'm not going to give you the answers for that or anything, but just think about it. Why would he say that? Well, you had to follow me, had to come with him. No, it's not that. He only had a few real disciples. He had a lot of followers, and a lot of the followers had no clue what he was teaching. But his disciples, only 2 of them weren't killed. All right, we'll get into that. And I'll say this. I was aware I was a female in that lifetime. Mary Magdalene was my closest friend. But was I a disciple? No, I wasn't. Mary Magdalene was. She was my best friend, but I wasn't a disciple. All right. I mean, I was with Jesus. I believed in everything. I understood what he was saying. I mean, in my own way, I was a disciple, but I wasn't one of his main. All right. So here's the thing. Now, I'm going to do it now because when I ask you it later, I want you to have done this on a piece of paper. And I do it in almost any big workshop that I do. Take out a piece of paper, draw a line down the center of it. On the right side, put God is not. On the left side, God is. All right. Draw a line under that. Now, I want you you don't have to describe anything. Just write words, what God is. Now, you can't say God is everything. You can't use words like that to describe what you think God is. The same as you can't say God's everything, so it can't be nothing. You have to say what you think God isn't, if you believe there isn't anything that God isn't. All right? And if I told you straight out, God isn't love, what would you do? Panic, shoot me, blow my sight, do everything you want. But you're going to understand the truth as you move forward. All right? When people say they work with Jesus, what does Jesus want them to do? Help the homeless? Are we helping the homeless on this planet in any great way? Be an honest person. How many people are honest? Don't lie, don't cheat, don't cheat on your wife. I mean, all those kind of things. How many people do that? Don't be abusive. Most people are. I'm abusive, and I hate to say it. My time's running out, and I don't want to leave this world without at least helping a few people rise to a higher level. I'm not here to change the world. Nobody can. Nobody. Jesus did not. Buddha did not. Nobody that claimed to be spiritual ever changed the world. Christianity has what? 2.5 billion people. Muslims have about 2.3 billion people. And then each religion beyond it has less and less and less and less. But having people in a religion doesn't make it spiritual. Now, I'm going to tell you something Jesus said, and you're not going to find it anywhere. Jesus said the most spiritual path will always have the least followers. Least followers, not the most. I mean, sure, when you hear things like, well, unless you become like sheep, will you get to see God? Really? I mean, the sheep running in your yard see God and you don't? Again, man twists everything Jesus said into what it perceived it meant to be. Buddha never talked about God. He talked about the bliss state, which is the state between the astral plane and the physical plane, where Buddha stayed most of the time. When you run into a cave and go into that bliss state, you don't need to eat, don't need anything, but you're not doing anything either. You think you come out of a cave after 40 years and know anything about society? The way people live, what they think, what they want, what they do. You don't. People, I'm going to be the way I am this whole time. Don't expect a loving, like, smiling, happy person because you're not in dreamland. You're not in fairy tale land. You're in hell, people. You see people die. You see people getting hurt. You see children getting abused, shot, blasted, wasted, things like that. In Hawaii, they're selling children. It's crazy what's going on, and you think everything's going to get better. Why? An alien's going to come down and wave his hand over you and make everything better? Is that the way it's going to go down? Do you really believe that? Why? Why would you believe that? All right. Let's see. The word salvation was man's protection for himself. Just as the court systems are the protection for men. Courts protect men much more than they do women. That's why sexual abuse and rape and all those kind of words are dangerous for a woman, because men usually win against it. And it's, yeah, prove this, prove that, which is pretty sad. I mean, there's only one way a woman can prove it, and a lot of times it never even goes to court. They never even prove that in the hospital. They just throw those test kits away and everything else. It's mind-boggling what happens. I'm finishing a book on that. I don't know if I'm ever going to release it or not. I can't get anybody to edit it because it goes into every gory, positive, negative detail about abuse. All right, how to stop it, how not to get into a situation, and all those things as well. But we're in the real world, and you have to watch everywhere you go. You can't believe every person you meet. Now, I'm going to say this, it's not part of what I was going to talk about. Reading a person's aura is the light of their soul. All right, whatever they are, however they vibrate, it can't change that. Oh, we can change it. Well, getting angry, being happy changes the light a little bit. It doesn't change you to a gold or blue light, ever. Spiritual can only, being a spiritual being or an aware being can change that. Nothing else can. In my whole life, I only saw 2 people that had a light that radiated maybe 200 feet from them. Not 1 foot, 6 inches, 2 inches, at least 100 feet, maybe even 200 feet, whatever. But again, people, you are radiating a light. Whatever color that is your vibration and level of your soul. So it's a good thing to learn how to read it and see it. It's simple. We'll get into that if you need to or want to. If you can't find it anywhere else, how to read an aura. All right, but not right now. I got so many things I want to try to get through today to get you on board. If you're going to get on board, you probably will not, because you're so afraid to face the truth, which 99% of the people on this planet are. The truth. I might find out what my mother really thought of me, my father did to me, or understand why, and blah, blah, blah. What I did and I won't admit. I mean, the truth is always there. And it's not positive. It's not a loving energy. Truth is positive and pure. And no, it's not what you think. So when you get this piece of paper out and pen and pencil, God on one side, God is and God is not. Put as many things as you can in both sides. And watch this. You're not going to be able to put much in God is not. I wonder why. Because you're programmed what God is. You're not programmed or taught what God is not. And I'll say, on the top of your line, on the right side, put, God is not a loving being. All right? Don't believe me. Just put it there anyway. All right? When you do it, I'll bring it up in the next workshop, and we'll go over that. But not right now. All right. What is your responsibility for God? To God? For God? However you want to look at it. Did God create crimes of passion, incest, abuse, killing? In any of the words that you heard or assume God said, did it ever say that? When you say you talk to God, did God say kill people? Ever? Did God ever say you have the right to kill people? Ever? Do you have the right to abuse anybody? No! The most important spiritual law that exists in this reality, it's number one. It's the law of non-interference. And nobody agrees or follows that. What it means is you walk around the planet. Hey, Joe, you want to know about God? Hey, Joe, I got a sandwich. You got to eat it. I mean, you can't invade somebody else's space unless they say, excuse me, could I have a bite of your sandwich? Oh, sure. Can you tell me anything about God? Yes. Difference, people. Walking in somebody's space. Now, I don't want to lose where I'm going. I'm not going to change my page or anything, but when people come out, now, let me see if I can think of their names. Oh man, I'm not going to think of it in a second. But one of them was talking about Rev.Melchizedek, Melchizedek's teachings. All right. Another one was, it's a Israel name, but he talked about having the Ark of the Covenant. He talked about changing the vibration of the planet. He did. Who is he? All right. We can go into what some people think they have the right to do, like our government, people in power, Musk, Gates. All right. I call him Bosco, one of the richest people on the planet. And Putin's one of the richest people on the planet. Nobody talks about him much, other than he's a bad person. That's besides the point. But here's the thing, people. We want these words that I just said, to stop. I don't care what frame, what religion, what path you follow. You sure don't want that. We don't need it. We shouldn't have it. But we accept it. How's that? How do you accept a horrible word? All right. So think about that. So when you think about what God is, think about what it wants, what it needs, what we're here for. To be nothing, become nothing? To be everything? What's everything? What do we want? Be the universe. What's that mean? I'm the universe. I float around stars. What do? I filmed the most incredible ship this morning. I was up all night. If I pass out, I'm sorry. I was up all night. But I went out this morning and I filmed the ship going right across above my head. And it was clouds out. And I filmed it going in and out and back in front of the clouds. It was low, people. It wasn't a satellite. It wasn't a drone. Because what it did is not what a drone can do. I mean, it wasn't traveling super fast. But I mean, in the sky, when it's moving like this, it's moving pretty fast. But outside of that, people, where are you going? What do you want out of life? Because what you want out of life isn't what you're going to get in death. You can't bring a submarine, a yacht, a giant. You're going to have yourself. And that's it. So let's go a little bit deeper into the rabbit hole, which some people like to use. Let's go down the rabbit hole. No, it's a giant earthquake happening that you're going to walk into, and it's going to explode. Now, let's go into one simple word: God. God. It is not. It is not a he. It is not a she. Men and women are not created in its image. No, we are not. Think God looks like you or me? If we did, we're in serious trouble. But if it thinks and acts like you or me, we're even in more trouble. So, people, think about what that list I told you to do, because that's going to fill in a lot of this stuff when we get to it. But what does God look like? You know, when I was 14, I was baptized as a Protestant. And at 14, we were allowed to ask our minister 3 questions. Wow, I can answer the things I don't know. So I had so many things going on before that as well in my life. I met with deities, angels, and all that kind of stuff. But getting back to when I met my minister, I said, "What's God look like?" His answer was, "Nobody knows." I said, "What do you do in heaven?" "Well, nobody really knows." I said, "What's heaven look like?" "Nobody really knows." So that's 3 negative answers to the most important questions if you're following God. It should be. Well, he couldn't answer them. I left being a Protestant. My first wife was Catholic. I studied that. I went through many religions. 14. One I found is very important, but it still had limitations. But it did mention God. It did talk about how to get closer to God and back to it. All right, which no other path does. Well, there's two paths. I'll say the names. I'm not going to say go out and follow them or join them, but you can get some information from them that could help you. Shab Yoga, all right, they had masses from 1800s to now, all right, and then Ekankar. Now, it's kind of, he studied Shab Yoga in India when he came here to teach Ekankar. So they're very similar. I mean, they fight each other because one has a master, and there's no such thing as master of life and death, except God. So, okay, now, these paths teach you about meditations, the right way to do it, what happens, and what you have to do to attain something. You don't want to go into a bliss state. You don't want to go into a nothingness state. You want to go into learn something. Well, why do it? Well, feel good. Feeling good is part of this physical reality connected to the 5 passions or the 5 senses of the mind. I mean, you know what they are, hopefully: sight, smell, taste, touch. All right. Those kind of senses are just part of the brain, not a part of spirit. Because when soul leaves the body, the brain stays within that head of yours, and soul is not part of that. It has its own truth, its own awareness, its reality of what it truly is. Now you're a lot closer to what God is in that point than being in this physical body. All right. Now, if you died right now and you woke up, where would you be? Who would you be? What would you be? What would you be doing? Well, you'd be on the astral plane, hopefully, for a period of time, and then waiting for the right time for you to get reincarnated back here. When you come back here, you start over as a baby without any awareness of anything. So does that sound like a path that's moving forward in any way? It isn't. And you're not. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's your choice. But as I go along, I hope you listen, because I'm going to give you much more information. I'm going to give you something that's going to blow you away when I hit them. And I didn't get to one. But it is important that you don't say he for God always, because God is not a he. And we're not in its image. So when you're saying he, you're limited into what we look like. And it doesn't look like us. And we sure don't look like it. All right. The word that they're using a lot now is All right, universal energy. What's that really mean? The vibration, the sound. See, science and religion don't fit together. Science doesn't fit together with anything spiritual or pertaining to awareness. When they learn about protons, neutrons, electrons, vortexes, dimensions, it's all about the physical reality. Maybe you want to know why the sun's shining light on us, why the waves go back and forth, why this, that, and the other thing. But it has nothing to do with your awareness. You're learning nothing about God. Oh, God makes everything, but why and what for? Why would it do what it does? Why did God make you? To get married, have children, get married, have children, get married, have children? Is that why God made you? Multiply, put more people on planet Earth, making more children. No, it's not true at all. You follow many, many lies. All right. The energy of the universe sounds like it's humongous and great. But what's the universe thinking right now? What's it telling you to do? What's it going to do for you? Think about it. We believe a lot of things. Let me take one split second to close this door. All right. Now, the universe has nothing to do with the astral plane. The astral plane is where soul goes when it dies, when the body dies. All right. Hopefully. And not every single soul goes there because they don't deserve to even go there. And they become ghosts, spirits, whatever word you like. They stay here. I'm going to give you really important information about that in a little bit. But okay, we believe people. I'm going to talk for people out there that constantly say it to me. We believe the universe is our energy. We are part of it. Well, if you live in here, you're in it. If you're in a refrigerator, you're part of the refrigerator. If you're in a ski lift going up a thing, are you the ski lift? You're part of it, but are you really? You're in the igloo. Are you part of the igloo? You want to believe you're part of things in one way you are, but are you really? Does it have anything to do with you? Of course not. It's just where you're placing your attention on things to bring you into a different place other than being aware of who and what you really are. Mankind's moving forward with technology. Why? Why more weapons? Why more spaceships? Why more this, that, and the other thing? Why leave the planet? We can't take care of planet Earth. We could, if 8 billion people work together. You know what we could do with this planet? Incredible things. Instead of blasting each other apart and killing each other, we could do incredible things, but we don't. Why not? Sorry. We don't. All right. If you get caught in this realm when you're a ghost or a spirit, you'll stay here even longer because time's not going to affect you at all. So, say you're sticking here as a ghost and you're haunting your house. The house gets torn down, you haunt the land, and you don't even know why. Some spirits or ghosts move when a house is torn down. They try to find some other place to haunt. So when you see these ghost stories on TV and all these things that they're proven and showing now are real, but they're souls that are trapped. They're not souls that are an aware being. You can't ask a ghost here and say, "What's God look like?" You can't ask it anything important because they don't know. They didn't get past the astral plane. So their knowledge is just what they had when they died, and that's why they didn't go any further either. Angels, we all have. All right? If you can find them on the internet, you can take a giant step forward because they'll take you where you need to go to learn something. Because you're not going to learn the things you need to learn here. You're not going to learn how to travel around the astral plane in the physical reality. Or you can dream. You can dream anything you want. Doesn't make it real. I mean, now they're saying you can dream anything you want and bring it into your life. Well, you call that dreaming. If you call this reality important and real, okay, some people do, some people don't. Buddha said this is the illusion. So it's how you look at what you're looking at. How important is that to you? All right. When soul goes to the astral plane, it stays there, and from the time I spent working there and everything else, it's usually 5 to 10 years. I'm not saying you could get reincarnated really fast or maybe longer. But here's the thing, people, which you need to know. Karma is what determines just about everything that happens to you. How long you're going to stay on the astral plane? How soon before you reincarnate? Can you stay on an astral plane permanently? All those things. Did you work out your karma? Oh, I had somebody heal me of it. No, you don't. We'll get into that. All these little things that people believe and accept. Why? Because they don't know any better. And they don't know how to prove it or disprove it. All right. Let me get past the universe. I don't want to talk about that anymore. All right. If you stay on the astral plane, there is no reason to come back to Earth to learn any more awareness. Because you're not going to learn what you're on the astral plane, what you need to know, that you don't need the information that's here. All right. When you come back to this world, there's 2 words that are being abused. Well, whoever wrote them, whoever came out and put it in a dictionary, didn't know what it meant. All right. Ascending is very simple. All right. Ascending means rising up. But they gave the same meaning to ascension. And it's not the same at any level. Ascension means going through the change of the next dimension into the world where you learn all your psychic abilities. How many people you know did that? Jesus is the only one I know. Moses learned some things, but he also learned things that he shouldn't be doing, and he did. So ascension means you rise above the reality of the lower realm and move into the higher realm for a short period of time. All right? You're actually getting a lot closer to God than you will ever be for a very long time. All right? Most people have no clue what I'm talking about right now. Ascension starts with a meditation, ends with you being out of your body, being taken. It's the way, I mean, if you believe in anything or not, Thorpe Lantian explains it. And there's a whole technique and exercise that you can do to do it as well. But, you can be given everything, the keys to a car, and you might never learn how to drive it. Which very few people understand ascension, and nobody goes through it. I spent 2 years studying ascension through the Emerald Tablets. I studied with a medicine woman who met with tribal people that taught her the exercise to do. But even that doesn't make it happen. Now, anyone that's following me can listen to me, follow me, try to do everything, and still might not be able to get to that point. Don't forget, your karma stops a lot of things from happening. The same as it helps you move forward. All right? But it's up to you what you really want, what you truly desire. Remember the movie Lucifer? And he always goes, what do you truly desire? What do you? And that's where your attention will stay and be. Here, family, cars, movie, games, sports. Is it God? Do you truly desire to know God? Do you want to know the truth about God? Will you accept the truth about God? That he has to love you? Really? That he cares about you? Why? What do you do for God? I gave a homeless person a sandwich. And you dropped a bomb on India, China, Russia, Germany, whatever. Does that balance it out? Of course not. Karma is usually created in a great way where it keeps growing. It's not decreasing. So again, learning how to stop creating karma is simple. The Ten Commandments are the basic foundation of truth. All right. But again, I mean, there's a lot more. Moses wrote one idea down, but he didn't have it all. I mean, the simplest one, like honor thy mother and father. But they have to honor thy child as well. Everything's a two-way deal. Oh, just give and you'll be spiritual. No, give all you want. But what are you giving to? Something that's not going to change anything. If you gave all your money to 10 people, did that change you? No. When a billionaire has all this money sitting in the bank and he could be helping hundreds of thousands of children, now you're creating karma. All right. If you have 2 cents to your name, obviously you got no money to give to children starving. So what do? In this reality, people say unconditional love, send it to them. We change the world. Do we? How many people pray? And did praying ever help anyone? Native people prayed. Tibetan people prayed. Did it help them in any way? In their ego, in their mind, it helped them. Well, I'm praying to God. He's going to help me. Really? You're in hell. Satan rules this world, people. Whether you want to believe that or not. Just pull up a video by Bob Dylan. I bring it up all the time. He did a short video, where he said, I sold my soul to the devil. And everything he wrote after that became gold. Seriously, every song he gave to other people became gold. But did it help? Was it beneficial? Did he learn anything? That he sold his soul to the devil. All right, he said, I'm not the only one. Many of us did. And they talked about it, and they admitted it to each other. Well, I want more things in my life, so I'm going to sell my soul. And if you think you have an incredible life, would you sell yourself soul? Probably, because you don't think there's anything afterwards anyway. Satan wants to keep everybody here. He doesn't want them to leave planet Earth, because then who would it take care of and play with and use and abuse? Nobody. Think about those simple little facts. They're simple, easy to understand, hopefully. What part do you play with in any of that? All right, now, there's one other thing I want you to... All right, both the Atlantean had awareness of God. Now, I do want you to think about this. Do not accept stories about the Anunnaki. They did not create us. They reprogrammed us. They didn't create us. There were 9 races on this planet. 5 of them left, 4 of them stayed. And then Atlantis was destroyed. But those races weren't created by an Anunnaki. And when you're a different race, you came from a different world. You didn't come from Adam's rib, whether you want to believe that or not. You weren't the only one race. And I mean, we all didn't come from the black race. We didn't. The black race didn't come from the Indian race, native race. All right? You believe these things. and they're all lies. Now, they talk about DNA. Hopi people have DNA that nobody else on the planet has. So where'd they come from? People, I'm not making stories up to make you feel good. I'm not making them up to make you feel bad. I'm giving you the truth. How deep you got to go, where you got to look. The answers are always there. You know, I don't know how long I want to do each workshop because it might not seem like a lot of information, but when you think about what I'm telling you and you actually get into the ideas and stuff, it becomes a lot. Like, why? And what's that really mean? And what am I doing? And yeah, suddenly you are not what you think you are. Just going to do a little bit more. All right, there's over 2,000 religions. That's a lot of religions. But only two that I know actually deal with getting out of the body. I'm not talking about just astral projection or remote viewing. I'm talking about leaving the body, going into the next realm. Not the next side of the planet, somebody's house, out of this realm, out of this universe. All right, forward. All right. Then there's about 100 cults who say they follow Lucifer. They're following Satan. I know they always followed Satan. I was a witch high priest for a while. I know what they follow. I know what they believe. I didn't agree with much of what they taught and believed. There's a white witch and a black witch. I was always a white witch. All right, meaning you don't kill things. Black witch does. When Mr. Ex-president and his father did ceremony, and they actually showed part of the video when they were doing a ceremony inside didn't know what kind of building it was, but he had a skull in his hand. There was a girl on the table, the whole thing. But and he was president. Both of them were. You know, I don't want to get into the New World Order or any of that stuff right now, because this is about awareness, people. Are you aware of what's really happening to the planet? Why it's happening? What's causing all the problems on this planet right now? Nobody in government, politics, at any level, talk about the real problems. They don't talk about the real problems. Why? Why not? All right. Now, when we start ignoring certain things, we start losing the whole picture. Like I said, you got to fill in all the details, not just part of them. What makes something tick really? And why is it ticking? And what useful benefits are that there is of it ticking? I mean, people follow animals. All right? People worship the plants, trees, the moon, the sun, the universe, and the ocean as well. All right? Do they claim to be God? Do they talk? What do they talk about? You're a more spiritual person. Just say it. I'm a more spiritual person. Now, am I a more spiritual person? No? So, we have to look deeper and deeper and deeper, because every step you take is only going to help you get closer to what you truly are here for. All right. Satan gives you what you want, not what you need. God gives you what you need when you're ready for it. Well, not God directly, because it doesn't deal with many souls on this planet. Why would it? Why would it need to? It doesn't. All right. But that's why deities, I call them little gods. All right. And one angel, a couple angels, but that's about it. But, okay, I want you to think about this as well. People follow aliens now, and they're accepting that, even though the Egyptians, the Mayans, the Aztecs all followed alien gods. They didn't follow any real god. All right? Were you there? I was. What were they praying to? What did they worship? What did they do? They listened to these gods. And the first thing to yourself, God would never ask you to kill someone. Even a story in the Bible where God supposedly told him, take your son up to the top of the mountain and kill him. Okay, I'll do it. It's another story created by man. God didn't create us to kill each other. We did. All right. The word Nordic in the UFO world is a race of aliens that are kind of tall, blonde hair, blue eyes. They usually wear white. And people that meet with them think they're spiritual beings. So I'm not saying anywhere in time they could have been coming out as that, but it's a form they take. Realize most of these things can change form. And the form can change in this dimension or these dimensions that we're in. All right. So when the Nordics come to these people, I did a UFO conference with a person that said he worked with the Nordics. And I said, what did they ever do for you? He said, well, they saved him in a car accident. I said, what else did they do for you? He couldn't name one other thing. See, miracles, what we perceive as miracles, make people believe in something, which is, I mean, I had miracles all the time, but I didn't think it was better than anything else. I just think God allowed me to, or allowed it to happen, whatever. So, why Nordics? Why Greys? Why reptilians? Why Mantis? Mantis is a higher race. It is. So, than the rest of them, because it controls them all. On any mothership, and this is, I'm just telling you, you don't have to believe it or not, there's a high ruler, whatever you want to call it, master, leader, and they're usually a mantis. And the reptilians are under them, and the greys are under them. But they all don't work together most of the time. I mean, they capture each other as well, and they do all those kind of things. But the idea is, what is happening? All you hear is, the most famous scientist was just on an interview. I was trying to write him a letter, but I couldn't get signed in fast enough to do the show. But, well, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We do know. We do know why they're here. We do know what technology they have. All right? When we say, oh, it's a drone, it could be a drone, it could be from China, it could be. No. In 1950, Germany was working with satellites. Not satellites, UFOs. They rose above the ground, but that's about all they could do. Right? They weren't traveling through space at the speed of light, people. Ships can travel any speed they want. A UFO ship with an alien in it. Their bodies aren't the same as ours. Their vibration. I don't want to get into that whole thing, which maybe somewhere in the future I will. But the way you dress, I mean, like in all the stories, the knight in shiny armor riding a white horse. Oh, not a black horse? Well, that's the bad guy riding a black horse. You know, and that's why the white and black races always attacking each other. Now, the white race would say the native people were demons, and that's why they always picture Satan as a red being. All right, so that everything's deeper than you could imagine, or it has a lot more meaning than you understand, and because most people didn't understand it. I could write about a book about. If you tried to write a book about me, you could probably put some things about me in there, but you wouldn't know half of it. And if I was writing a book about you, would I know anything? If I didn't live with you 24 hours day and night, I wouldn't know the real you, ever. All right. Mantis do look like a praying mantis, and they're big. If you like mantises, which I always did, I always thought they were so cool. They're cool looking, but if you think bugs like that are ugly, you're sure going to think a mantis is creepy or ugly. But the abilities that they have certain little abilities. I call them little, because if any of those creatures, beings, whatever you want to call them, had an ability at 100%, they could do just about anything they want. And just by traveling fast doesn't mean you can do anything you want. I remember I was in the ocean and a sonic plane went over us and it went boom. And we heard the sonic boom from it. They can't do it over the land. They got to wait till they get over the ocean to use it. But that's just a sound. All right. So, did you ever see an alien? Excuse me. Stop it. All right. On that, I just want to say this. On the UFO part of it, there was a movie called V. It was a TV series. There was one in, I think, 86, 89. It was remade in 2009, which I can't believe that's the right date, but that's what they're saying. All right. The alien, Marina Basarin, okay, she was the person in the latest TV show where she was in the prison. We won't know the next part of it until next year, next season. But she was in prison leading all these people on the outside, trying to take these bad people out, while the government and army and everybody else is trying to stop that from happening. But I always liked her from the movie V. Basically, it's what's going to happen if aliens decide to come to this planet. It's how they'll do what they want to do. And what they're going to want to do is not what we want them to do or expect them to do. They're not here to help us. They never were and never will be. If you realize they've been here for, 50,000 years, 100,000 years, and they haven't helped mankind move forward in any way, technology is not moving forward. It's moving backwards. Because the more technology we play with, the more we destroy the planet. The highest technology will be artificial intelligence, meaning they don't need people. All right, and that's where we're headed. Musk said it. He twists what he said, but he actually said it recently. So I'm going to stop there because I think I gave you a little bit of information. Just do the exercise I gave you because I want to go deeper into that before we start going into more important things. Am I doing it slow? Yes, I am. You're not going to learn if I just zip through this. You're not going to remember a single word or what it means or anything if I just zap through it. All right, healing is critical on this planet, at least in most people's minds. But you don't heal karma. Karma's got to be worked out. So, with that, people, I'm going to say this. I hope you got something out of today. Send this link to other people if you can. I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to start opening it up, which is open for people to come in, no matter what phase I'm in, because the rest of them will always be online, unless I lose my YouTube channel, which I can. So I suggest if you can download it, so this way you'll have it. Because right now, YouTube gave me one more warning. If I screw up in any which way, I'll lose my YouTube account. I mean, I'll have to go to another account, but I'll lose all my videos, and I got tons of videos up online. So think about what you need to do in life, what you want to do, who you are, where you're going. So the little thing I told you to do is write down what God is and what God isn't. Then one short paragraph on the other side of that paper or pages, how many you're going to write, how many things you're going to think about God or not, but what is your destination goal for your whole life? Where do you want it to end? What do you want to accomplish? What do you think you're going to accomplish? And does it connect you to anything spiritual? All right, people. I hope you liked it. Hope you got something out of it. I try not to be too mean today. Please, and when I get mean, it's only to wake you up. I got to wake myself up all the time. Because, sitting back and closing your eyes, it might feel good, but you're going to have to open. All right, people. Till next time, Tommy Hawksblood. And I'm using the word reverend because I am a minister as well. And I decided to move into that vein because people either going to listen or not, and that's their choice. So with that, peace, love, compassion. Whatever you think you want, I hope you get it. Don't stop until you do. Make sure you go and search for what you really want. Because when you get it, it might not be all that you think it is. Or anything you really want. So people, goodbye from Hawaii. Hawaii is a really outrageous place sometimes. All right. Tommy Hawksblood. Till next time.